Good evening and welcome back to Mystic Matters. We are the Greater Mystic Chamber of Commerce. Good evening, Kristin.
Good evening, Susette.
We had a great time last show.
Yeah,
What a wonderful! I learned some new things from the Riverfront Children's Center last
Maybe you want
week.
to have kids. No, it didn't.
Okay, so let's just move past that. Although I love children, but with 6 wonderful little dogs that not little, well, one's a Doberman. So.
Well, speaking of children and dogs.
Yes, speaking of that.
Our biggest event, which is, maybe it's a miniature-ish biggest, but it is a big event for us. It's the Santa Arrives by Tugboat, and the Lighted Boat Parade is going to be November 26th. So that's the Saturday after Thanksgiving. It's a really great show this year. We're very excited about it. We've got boats that are going to be lit up and sailing back and forth in the river. Last year we were in Yankee Magazine and we had about, 30,000 people crowding the shores.
Well, what a way to start off the Christmas, actually the holiday season.
Yeah, it's November. Did you know that? Ugh.
Well, I do know that because I've decorated the store already for the holidays.
Oh, really?
Yes, and when you have a retail store, that's what you do.
That's true.
But what a great time to kick off the holidays. And also just a reminder to shop small business. We are there. It's what the Greater Mystic Chamber of Commerce represents. And so we encourage you to shop our businesses, to support our restaurants, and also to support this time of year our nonprofit organizations.
Yeah, our nonprofit organizations are our most usual guests on this show. For one thing, because they have such a huge impact on the community. And I was thinking about this lately, that southeastern Connecticut is so highly populated.
It is, yes.
So we need these little organizations to help with the needs of the community.
Absolutely.
So
and speaking of organizations.
No,
you go. I want you to go.
No, you.
Speaking of organizations, this evening we have on the show the president of the Mystic Lions Club, Eric Garofano. Nice to meet you. Nice to see you. I shouldn't say nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Eric.
Okay. So Eric and I do have a history together. He and his wife, entrenched in downtown Mystic, actually live in downtown Mystic. And Eric, you are a lawyer with what firm?
Conway, Lonergan, Sheehan, and Monaco in New London, Connecticut.
Talk about entrenched in the community. I mean, that law firm has been around.
Yes, 1962.
A very long time.
Yes,
so
indeed.
Eric and his wife moved here approximately
2012?
Yeah, I was trying to think a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
anyways.
2012,
well, more than a couple of years ago. But I have to say something about Eric and of course his wife, who I love dearly. But Eric and Carrie decided to come to Mystic, Connecticut, live here, jobs, obviously, but also recognized the community spirit. And they recognize how much it means to be entrenched, to give back, to volunteer, and to be involved. So Eric is currently the president of the Mystic Lions Club, and that's what we're talking about this evening. But I want to ask this question because you brought this up. You are now a 501c3.
Correct.
After how many years?
67 years, I believe, the club's been around.
Okay.
So it's always kind of been a dream, I think, of people in the club. But me being a lawyer, I was able to help bring that dream to fruition. That
was your focus, Eric, when you got in, part of your mission to
yeah, when I joined the club and they knew I was a lawyer, they're like, oh, hey, we've always thought about doing this, but we haven't quite gotten there yet.
Since 1962.
Yeah. Good things take time.
They absolutely take time. But tell us about the process.
Yeah, so there's the process getting approved with the IRS, and then the things you need to do at the state level. So there's about 13 to 15 steps depending on what you want to do. You got to form your corporation first. You got to do that with the Secretary of State here in Connecticut, and then you got to get your approval with the IRS. And then there's the typical things that a business has to do, the business filings that come along with that, and certain things get tax exempt status through the state. So if we go out and buy supplies for an event, we're not having to pay sales tax.
Right.
Things like that. So it's pretty complicated to get going, and then also to maintain it, you got to make sure you're doing all the right things.
So how does that help the Mystic Lions Club to be a C3 now?
Right. So one thing is the sales tax. We don't have to pay that anymore for supplies. But the other thing is donations that come to the club are tax deductible.
Absolutely.
So if you come to our upcoming event, which is a Vintner sale and wine tasting November 19th from 6 to 9 at Mystic Aquarium, any proceeds from that would be tax deductible.
Okay.
So, if you just want to give $100 to Mystic Lions, you can, put that down in your tax return as a tax deduction.
I want to talk about that event, the Vintner sale and wine tasting, because I have supported that event in the past. But, okay, here's the devil in the room. What does the Mystic Lions Club do? I mean, there's a lot of organizations. There's Kiwanis, there's Rotary.
Elks, too.
Elks?
The
Help us
squirrels.
on this.
Squirrels
Help
of
us on
Mystic.
this.
Right.
Your mission, and what are you, part of a bigger organization? How does that work?
Right. So the bigger organization is Lions Club International, which is the largest service organization in the world. 1.4 million members right now.
Oh, really?
So we're actually bigger than Rotary, and we happily bring that point up.
They said that on TV.
1.4 million
Right.
members?
Members worldwide. Yeah.
And when did this organization start?
1917.
Okay.
It was founded, and the mission for the Lions Club is preventable blindness. Helen Keller challenged the Lions Club to be Knights of the Blind. So a lot of the things that we do, both internationally and at the local level, is eye screenings, collecting eyeglasses, funding guiding seeing eye dogs, and other devices that help people with low vision. So that's kind of the main focus of the Lions Club in terms of a particular project. Rotary has polio, so preventable blindness is the Lions Club equivalent. But then there's also other service parts of that, so we volunteer at the aquarium at certain events. We'll park cars for them. We clean up at the nature center, help out in the local area like that. And then also the big thing is fundraisers for us, so we can give to, John Moran Food Bank, other Groton Social Services, Stonington Human Services, things like that, so to help out in the community as well. So it's both raising money for international projects and local projects, as well as being out there and serving people.
So how do you become a lion?
It's members only, so you have to be invited by a member. You have to attend a club meeting and a club event, and then the board of directors will examine your application and see if you qualify.
So there is a vetted process.
Right, right.
Okay.
Right.
And there isn't did the board always exist, or did the board exist after 501c3?
The board always existed. It's always how the Lions Club International gives us a constitution and bylaws that we're supposed to follow. The clubs can tweak it at certain levels. So we have the club, and then our 501c is the community foundation, the Mystic Lions Community Foundation. So they're two separate entities. Anyone who's a member of the club is a member of the foundation, but that's how we keep it separate. For tax purposes, because you do have to be incorporated to be a 501c3. You can't just be an unassociated club.
Now, the Greater Mystic Chamber of Commerce just went through this as well, generating the foundation that we had. So we're going through the same thing, putting together a board for that foundation, looking forward to the future where somebody's membership would be tax deductible. So that, and
It's
then
quite a process.
Yeah, and then we could help the community more, because that
Right.
kind of monies could be used.
Well,
for those kind of things.
as someone who's been in the business a long time, and also very much support local organizations, that tax write-off is important, because it helps all the way around. So when you're giving to some of these nonprofit organizations, which I'm glad the Lions Club, probably from your vision and your board, was able to put this forward, which makes a difference. Now, or is it just the Mystic Lions Club that is now a nonprofit organization, or is it other Lions Club?
Right, so
do the
there's
same thing?
Lions Club throughout the state, and it depends on if the club has taken that step.
Okay.
I know, for instance, North Stonington Lions Club is also, they have their 501c3 status as well. So there are other clubs in the area, but unless you've seen it on their advertisement, then it's probably not a 501c3, because we're making sure to highlight that point so everyone knows.
Well, that's very important, and very important for this show too, that everybody understands that when you do give, now there is a way that it'll help you as well. The Mystic Lions Club, how many members are there?
We have 25 active members. There's probably 30 to 35 members still. There's some snowbirds that'll go down to Florida to avoid our winters, and some older folks that want to be part of the club, still be involved with the the communications and things like that, but they're just not as able to get out there and.
So is there room to grow with the club?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's another one of the focuses. I think
For membership.
For membership, and I think there's a stereotype for these service organizations, Rotary and Lions Club, for being an older organization.
Well, yeah, and that's it, and I think that's that all those organizations. That's the hurdle to get some younger people to attract. I guess that's the word. Attract younger people to get involved.
Right. So it's always an issue. We just had a new member join. He's 30 years old. We got a couple others in their mid-30s, early 40s that are going to be joining soon. So we're making progress, and a focus is doing good work, but also enjoying ourselves as well.
Now, do you find that there's a certain type of people, like if you're in a gathering, for instance, and there's a lion and a rotary and an elk, like can you tell the difference? Is there a certain personality? It almost sounded like a joke. A lion, an elk, and a rotary. You walk into a bar.
I was wondering where that question came from, but go ahead and try to answer that one, Eric.
Right. I mean, I think there is a certain fit.
Yes.
All the clubs do good work. They all have good mission statements and things like that. And it's about giving back to the community. Putting others before yourself. So I think there is a common personality trait that comes with that. What organization you choose, I think that depends on your approach to things. Some people meet for lunch. Some clubs are a little more serious about things. We're happy to have a few drinks at dinner and talk about everything that's going on with life, not just what the club's doing. Well,
I think that makes it more interesting too.
Right.
There's a component of what's happening outside of that world.
Well, that makes me think of like the old coffee houses, in the revolutionary times when you get together and talk about the issues and have some drinks.
Absolutely, yeah.
So.
My father, it was funny because he owned some barbershops in there. I mean, my father's been gone a long time. And he'd come in and I'd say, is this about haircutting or is it about talking about the community? He was a Rotarian, but he would say, no, it's about talking about the community. And I would see some of the political people coming in, getting a haircut, and then it turns into sort of a community event. So, typically with some of these organizations, it's nice to see that the focus can be on other things. But speaking about focus, you do have this one fundraiser that you do every year, and this is your largest fundraiser?
It is our largest fundraiser of the year. I think it's the 12th or 11th year that we've been doing this.
I think we have a
now.
graphic up here with you can see how cute.
So it's a Vintner sale, meaning that you can purchase wine that night.
Right.
We're not going to give you your bottles that
night.
No,
you can't. Yeah.
But you can fill out the order form right there. You're sampling. There's over 75 varieties of wine to choose from. The people are right there. The wine gets delivered to Cask and Keg. You can come pick it up, or we can deliver it to you if you need to.
Kevin has been a very good.
Yes, he's one of the best.
He's the best, right?
He's one of the best lions we have.
Yeah. Kevin
support.
from Cask and Keg. I just want to put out a little shout out to Kevin.
Without him, we wouldn't be doing the wine tasting. So we're very appreciative of that, and it's a lot of fun. Like I said, 75 different wines to taste.
Can you kind of give us? Do you know any of the vendors or any of the other?
I'm not really a wine guy. I just know how much wine is there. If you wanted to talk about the craft breweries in the area, I'd be happy to. But,
do you see that, Eric Garofano? He is into the beer. Okay, that's
where my tastes are. Yes, there are red wines, there are white wines, and there's other types of wines as well.
Other types of wines.
I'm always that person that looks to that. Go ahead and order yours first, and then I say I'll have what she's having.
Right.
That type of thing. But the beer. We have Jennifer who manages my store is opening up a brewery here pretty soon. Her and her husband Jason Vincent, who happens to be the planner for the town of Stonington. So I know a lot about beer. But anyways, we're going to be supporting her and making sure that they're part of the chamber as well as we move forward. But so how many people do you expect?
It's at the Aquarium. It's in their main little main building there with the aquarium, or the large circular aquarium.
Right, the main tank.
Right, the main tank. And we can hold up to 300 people there.
And do you get that many people?
Yes, yeah. In years past, we've gotten that many people. So there's the wine. We'll also probably have some beer and some other spirits.
Is there food?
And there's food. There's light hors d'oeuvres. The spinach artichoke dip from S&P is always a hit there. So things of that nature. Nothing too heavy.
All right. Is there a silent auction or anything else that goes on too, or
right?
No?
This year we're trying something a little bit different, going with some higher end silent auctions, like a weekend getaway to Newport with tickets to various attractions there, things of that nature. So and then there's also going to be a spin the bottle game where you can pay $10 and you spin the wine bottle. And
Eric, this is a family show. Eric, I
Yes.
just want to make sure
This
that
is
you
all very
understand that,
family-friendly.
all right? This is a family show, but
You
we
weren't
have
going
spin the
before.
bottle,
Now
right?
you're going.
yes, there's no kissing involved.
Okay, good. Oh, well, I mean,
Well,
why
now you
should
don't
we
even wanna
Now
go,
we don't
right?
want to go. You
Yeah,
know?
right.
But there is spin the bottle, and how's that?
Spin the bottle. So you pay $10,
Okay.
and there's going to be a whole bunch of bottles of wine around a circular table, and you're not going to know what they are. They're going to have the silver sleeve there, so you can't tell what it is. The values vary from $7 up to $100. We're going to have one $100 bottle and two $50 bottles of wine. So you spin the bottle, and whichever bottle it's pointing to, that's yours to take home. So you can open it right up there. We'll have a sticky showing you what the value is to see if you made your $10 back or you got a $7 bottle of wine.
Wow.
But regardless, you're going to win, and all the proceeds, again, go to our various organizations we donate to.
So a few years ago, I had the opportunity to doing their auction and their MC, and I'm telling you, there were people, and I know a lot of people in this area, there are people that came from everywhere for this event.
Well, it's an unusual event. I mean,
It
wine
really is a
tasting where
great
you can buy
event.
the wine, because I've been to those, but under
You can actually
auspices
buy
of a
the
restaurant.
wine. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great event. I think it's a great event. I know it's a great event to support.
Right, yeah. I mean, so when you're tasting that wine, you're like, oh, I like this wine. You don't have to try and remember what it is because you can just fill out your order form and now you've
Right,
ordered
makes it
yourself
very
a
simple.
few bottles.
Right, and it's an easy checkout type of
Right,
thing.
yep. We take credit card. We'll have credit card machines right there you can swipe away and
Wow. So, Eric, how long is your term? Because you have done so much already. I know about this term stuff. They change the limits sometimes.
You mean
Trust me.
Oh, for the president.
For the
of
president,
Lions
yeah.
Club.
Right. So the Lions year is July through June. So
Okay.
July 2017 through June of 2018 will be my term.
Okay.
So that's.
And then are you up for another term if you're bored?
It's most likely I'll probably do a second term. It's kind of encouraged. There's no
Well, you
there's
know
no
what?
formal requirement, but after a year you kind of know what's going on. And
Right,
you
right.
can
Like
be
the
more
one
helpful
who
to
does
club.
the most stuff always gets elected again.
Right. If you need something done, give it to the busy people.
Right. You know, actually, speaking of term limits, I think one term, I mean, you're just getting your feet wet.
Right.
You
and-
usually a second term. Now, anything beyond that, that's up for grabs, I think. But anything beyond that, I think is, I mean, it would go back to the board just to see, how that president's
Do you
doing.
have to wear like a crown or anything during
no,
the meetings?
No crowns. I'm pushing for things like that. I've tried to make motions for me to be, philosopher king of the club or something along those lines.
You must address me as philosopher king.
Exactly, but those motions aren't getting approved. I really don't know why.
I think that's
seems
great.
perfect
See,
to
Eric,
me.
you make the best president. There's
Yeah,
such a
I'm
humor.
trying to add a little bit of fun to it. Sometimes going over how much money we have and things like that isn't all that exciting. But if we can add a little bit of fun to
You
it.
have to, a little bit of humor.
Right.
We're going to wrap it up here in a few minutes, but I really want to get out again the date of the event and the time.
It's
Location.
Saturday, November 19th from 6 to 9 at Mystic Aquarium.
And you can buy tickets.
You can buy tickets online on our website. You can just Google Mystic Lions Club and we'll pop up mysticlionsclub.org, and you can buy the tickets right there.
Okay, and also a 501c3 now. And another thing is, too, membership. Are you encouraging memberships?
Yes, most definitely.
Okay.
If anyone's interested, you can find me on my firm's website. There's also an email address on our club website.
Okay.
Shoot an email, say we're interested in joining, and I'm happy to meet with you.
And how many meetings are there, and when do you meet?
So typically we meet the first and third Thursday of the month at 6:30. The Hilton's kind of been our home base, but we're trying to move around to different restaurants and venues just to get the name out there, change venues.
Right.
People don't always know things. Harp and Hound has an upper room that I've never actually been to, so we're trying to arrange an event there. We'll be going to the Steak Loft for the rest of the month.
Okay, good.
So just try and change things up, but the Hilton has been our home base.
Okay. Eric Garofano, really nice to see you. And thank you
Thank you
so
for
much.
having
You
me.
and Carrie have been wonderful supporters, not only in the community, but really this couple has gotten involved. And when I say they got involved, I can talk about that on another show. But thank you so much. And I encourage people to get out there to this event and support the Mystic Lions Club coming up here. Kristin? Good evening.
Yes, good evening. I'm happy to meet you, and I love hearing about these organizations and our nonprofits that the Greater Mystic Chamber of Commerce supports. And we can't do everything, and everybody has a tribe. Everybody has like a little tribe that has a bit of a focus, and when there's so many people together in one area, it just helps to get things done. So,
but also support Santa coming by tugboat down our own Mystic River. We had a great Mystic Restaurant Week.
Yes.
That was very, very successful.
successful.
And if you get an opportunity, come see us at our new location right across from the seaport, and we're happy to give you a tour. We are the Greater Mystic Chamber of Commerce. Good evening.